Wake up. Greg. They're coming. I forced myself to consciousness. Coming. I leaped from my bunk, followed Snap with a rush into the corridor. We had returned safely to the Grantline camp. Anita and I found ourselves exhausted from lack of sleep, our arduous climb of Archimedes and that tense time on the brigand ship. On the flight back, Snap had explained how the landing of the ship on Archimedes was observed through the Grantline telescope. They had read with amazement my signals to the Brigands. Snap had rushed to completion the first of our flying platforms. Then he had seen Nico's signals from the crater base, seen the lights and the fight to capture Anita and me, and had come to rescue us. Back at the camp we were given food, and Grantline forced me to try to sleep. They'll be on us in a few hours, Greg. Nico Wall have joined them by now. He'll lead them to us. You must rest, for we need everyone at his best. And surprisingly, in the midst of the camp's turmoil of last-minute activities, I slept soundly until Snap called me, telling me the ship was coming. The corridor echoed with the tramp of Grantline's busy crew. But there was no confusion, a grim calmness had settled on everyone. Anita and Venza rushed up to join us. It's in sight. There was no need of going to the instrument room. From the windows fronting the brink of the cliff, the brigand ship was plainly visible. It came sailing from Archimedes, a dark shape blurring the stars. All its lights were extinguished save a single white search beam in the bow peak, slanting diagonally down. The beam presently caught our group of buildings, its glare shone in the windows as it clung for a moment. I could envisage the triumphant curiosity of Patton and his men up there, gazing along the beam. We had dimmed the lights to conserve our power, and to enable the Arentz motors to run at full capacity. Our buildings would have to withstand the brigands' rays which soon would be upon us. Outside on our dim, earthlit cliff, the tiny light showed where our few guards were lurking. As I stood at the window watching the incoming ship, Grantline's voice sounded. Call in those men. Ring the call lights, Frank. The siren buzzed over the camp's interior. The warning call lights on the roof brought in the outer guards. They came running to the admission ports, which had been repaired after Miko disabled them. The guards came in. We dimmed our lights further. The treasure sheds were black against the cliff behind us. No need for guards there, we reasoned the brigands would not attempt to move it until our buildings were captured. But, if they should try it, we were prepared to defend it. In the dim light we crouched. A silence was upon us save for the clanging in the workshop down the corridor. Most of us wore our Arentz suits, with helmets ready, though I am sure there was not a man of us but who prayed he might not have to go out. At many of the windows, our weakest points to withstand the rays, insulated fabric sheets were hung like curtains. The brigand ship slowly advanced. It was soon over the opposite rim of our little crater. Its search beam swung about the rim and down the valley. My thoughts ran like a turgid stream as I stood tensely watching. 4 hours ago I had sent that flash signal to Earth. If it was received, a patrol ship could come to our rescue and arrive here in another 8 hours, or perhaps even less. Ah, that if. If the signal was received. If the patrol ship were immediately available. If it started at once. 8 hours at the very least. I tried to assure myself that we could hold out that long. The brigand ship crossed the opposite crater rim. It dropped lower. It seemed poised over the crater valley, almost at our own level and less than 2 miles from us. Its search beam vanished. For a moment it hung, a sleek, cylindrical silver shape, gleaming in the earthlight. Snap looked at me and murmured, "It's descending." It slowly settled, cautiously picked its landing place amid the crags and pits of the tumbled, scarred valley floor. It came to rest, a vague, menacing silver shape lurking in the lower shadows, close at the foot of the inner opposite crater wall. A few moments of tense waiting passed. Soon tiny lights were moving down there, some out on the rocks near the ship, others up under its deck dome. A stab of searchlight shot across the valley, swung along our ledge and clung with its glaring 10-foot circle to the front of our main building. Then a ray flashed. The assault had begun.